This is Adam, and he suffers from gout. Try Ural. It helps to prevent crystallization of uric acid crystals in gout therapy. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Good evening, I'm Camelia and you're watching KiniNews. Khairy Jamaluddin has addressed his meeting with PN Chairperson and Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin earlier this week. During his podcast today, Khairy revealed what had been offered and his reply to it. The former UMNO leader said he owed Muhyiddin an answer and had met him to respond to the matter on Monday. Khairy implied that he turned down the offer and gave a final answer. However, he said Muhyiddin asked him to give it some more thought and he had complied with the request.
Beliau telah menawarkan keahlian dalam parti Bersatu dan juga menawarkan kepada saya peluang untuk terlibat dalam pilihan raya negeri. Jadi saya telah jumpa dengan beliau dan saya telah memberi pandangan saya kepada beliau dan beliau telah minta supaya saya fikir lagi lah.
So kita tahulah apa jawapan tu kalau
fikir lagi
balik.
Dan saya pun telah setuju untuk fikir lagi dan saya pun minta beliau sedikit masa. So itu jawapan dia lah.
Khairy also addressed rumors on social media that he would be made an appointed deputy president in Bersatu. He said he found such fake news distasteful and blamed it on Pakatan Harapan cyber troopers.
So saya nak bagi tahu kepada Cytro PH yang terlibat dalam hal ini, janganlah menyebarkan berita palsu, ya. Saya rasa benda ni adalah tidak beretika dalam politik dan salah satu sebab saya sendiri tidak berapa senang dengan PH pada hari ini dan saya rasa sebahagian besar daripada rakyat juga tidak senang dengan PH pada hari ini adalah perangai Cytro PH ni.
The government has revealed who will be the next IGP and Deputy IGP. This comes following news that Akril Sani Abdullah Sani had opted for early retirement. Razaruddin Hussain has been appointed as the new Inspector General of Police on a contract basis for the next 2 years. Meanwhile, Ayub Khan Maidin Piche has been appointed as the Deputy Inspector General of Police. This comes after former IGP Akril Sani Abdullah Sani opted for early retirement 4 months before the expiry of his contract. In a statement today, Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, upon the advice of the Prime Minister on the authority of the Royal Malaysian Police, has approved the contractual appointment of Razaruddin as the IGP for 2 years effective from June 23, 2023 until June 22, 2025. Razaruddin is on a contract basis as he passed his retirement age in March. He was previously the Bukit Aman Narcotics Investigations Department Director and the Deputy IGP from 2021. Meanwhile, Ayub Khan was previously the Criminal Investigation Department Director in Bukit Aman. He was also formerly the Johor Police Chief and had a brief stint as Bukit Aman Narcotics Investigations Department Director. Previously, Malaysia Kini had reported that Razaruddin's term as IGP may be a short one as he has passed the retirement age. According to sources, Ayub Khan is said to be on the path to taking over as IGP after Razaruddin. With the state elections just around the corner, Malaysia Kini had published a special page for users to simulate results of the upcoming state elections based on GE15 results. This is a project that my colleagues spent hundreds of hours working on. Scan the link here and donate to support more work like this. Before that, let's take a look at how the simulator on our special page works.
New product from KiniNews Lab. This simulations calculator is based on the results of the 15th general election. It lets you predict the results of 5 states' election based on the turnout rate and the change in voting preference. For example, if you think only 70% of the voters who supported Pakatan Harapan in GE15 will come out to vote in this state election, while 80% of PN voters will return. In addition, 30% of the voters who had supported BN will now vote for PN. The calculator will tally the total number of seats likely won by each coalition in the 5 states. For example, in Selangor, PN will likely win 11 seats with a net gain of 6 seats. Click here and you will see which seats will likely be won by each camp. Those marked with the plus symbol are newly won seats.
22 million ringgit. This is the amount that Najib paid a company for speech writing and international media-related services. This was revealed during the 2.28 billion ringgit 1MDB corruption trial against Najib today. Najib Abdul Razak's former speech writer testified before the Kuala Lumpur High Court today that he received over 22 million ringgit over a 3-year period for his services to the former Prime Minister. Semarak Consortium Satu Sendirian Berhad founder Muhammad Omar Mustafa testified that his company was paid the amount for service of English speech writing and international media-related work from March 2011 until April 2014. He said he received the payment via 39 checks from March 3, 2011 to April 23, 2014, which were signed by Najib during face-to-face meetings at the then Finance Minister's office. Omar, who is the 45th prosecution witness in the 2.28 billion ringgit 1MDB corruption trial against Najib, said that he offered his company's services to Najib in March 2011 and the then Premier agreed, with both agreeing there was no need for a written contract over the matter. During cross-examination by lead defense counsel Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, the witness reiterated that the transactions between the company and Najib did not trigger any red flags from the authorities. Najib is facing 4 counts of abuse of power and 21 counts of money laundering involving 2.28 billion ringgit from 1MDB. Moving on to the Penang High Court, Lim Guan Eng lost his defamation suit against MCA Vice President Tan Teck Cheng and the English daily The Star today. The High Court in Georgetown, Penang, has dismissed a defamation suit brought by DAP chairperson Lim Guan Eng against MCA Vice President Tan Teck Cheng and the English daily The Star. According to FMT, Justice Kwei Chiu Soon ruled that the opinion piece Tan wrote in the paper about Lim and funding for a Chinese school last year was a fair comment and not defamatory. Lim was ordered to pay 20,000 ringgit to Tan and 30,000 ringgit to The Star in costs. According to Lim's lawyer, K. Simon Murali, his client will appeal today's decision. Lim had sued Tan and The Star last year over a published comment that claimed as finance minister, he had demanded that SJKC Kwek Ho Yao change its name in exchange for 4 million in government funds. Lim said the claims were false and untrue as the 4 million ringgit was handed over even though construction had not yet begun. He said as finance minister he had never set the condition that the school must change its name to receive the allocation. He added that during his time as finance minister, 43 million in federal funds was allocated for the construction purposes of 26 Chinese primary schools, and allocations were given unconditionally by the Finance Ministry on application by the then Deputy Education Minister Tioni Ching. APN lawmaker has called on Anwar to focus on addressing the country's economy instead of visits to universities. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has been urged to focus on the people's woes and the country's economy rather than making campus visits to meet students. The call was made by Besot MP Cik Muhammad Zulkifli Juso, who likened Anwar's engagement session with university students to open political campaigns. He said it can be seen as trying to influence the votes of the youths ahead of the upcoming state elections. In a statement last night, Che Muhammad Zulkifli said that young voters can feel the hardship their families are going through. He added that they can assess the government's credibility and performance in solving the country's economic problems without the need for arranged meetings with the Prime Minister. According to him, the people are still not convinced how the Madani government can deal with their problems. What makes the people more depressed, he said, is that Anwar's administration does not seem to show empathy for the people who are struggling financially due to the fall of ringgit, high inflation rates, and stagnant salary. He added that opposition MPs are also still denied their rights to receive allocations that could have been used to help ease the burden of the people in their respective areas.
Rafizi has responded to claims that the federal government could fall after the state polls. He said it would be numerically difficult and questioned the logic behind the claims.
Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli has dismissed claims that the unity government will fall after the state elections. He told reporters yesterday that logically it can't happen as a vote of no confidence will not take place and you cannot switch parties any longer. He added that if the largest bloc exits the unity government, the government stays, and it is numerically difficult. Rafizi said this in response to past Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man's statement that the upcoming polls could pose a threat to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's government if the outcome favored Perikatan Nasional in 5 of the 6 states. Tuan Ibrahim was quoted as saying by Harakah Daily that if PN can defend Kelantan, Terengganu and Kedah, as well as capture Selangor and Negeri Sembilan, God willing, the federal government will be challenged and it's not impossible that it will fall. The 6 states due to hold elections this year are the Pakatan Harapan held Penang, Selangor and Negeri Sembilan, as well as the PAS-ruled Kedah, Terengganu and Kelantan.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.